And good day, everybody. Welcome. We are at the 28th of August, 2025. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching this. Salutations to all. We're going to talk about the real estate market. 755 total active listings on the market as of right now. That is 8/28/2025 at 10:03 hours in the morning. Now, there's a reason why inventories dropped off, and inventories come down almost 60 units for sale, just tracking back 3 weeks ago. So we've dropped quite a bit. And the reason being, we can blame one in particular type of people in the world: the children, the people that go to school. That's to blame. Most people that do move actually are doing it to try to get better school systems, better areas for kids, believe it or not. And you might not have kids or not be in that world, but that is a big part of the movement in real estate. Right now, we're also finishing. School has gone back into session. And that being the case, the market slowed down a little bit. And as we move into fall and winter, as long as nothing big changes, then the market will probably just continue at this basic same pace. We're going to probably have 60 or 70 listings sell per week. We'll probably have the same numbers replenishing for at least the next month, month and a half. And then that number will potentially dwindle as we move in closer to the more of the robust holiday seasons, the Thanksgivings, the Christmas, and then the New Year's. And then next year, February, March, we'll start to pick up again, probably see signs around January or so of the market starting to move. Now, here's the deal. If the Fed drops that overall Fed funds rate this year, then we're probably going to see a kickoff of the real estate cycle, and things are going to get a little busy. It's probably going to begin with the eating up of the inventory that we have on the market, where sellers are very serious during the holidays. If they're trying to sell something during the Christmas time and Thanksgiving time, they're motivated. And buyers, if you're looking at that time, well, you're also motivated. You want to get something done. Most people would rather just kind of relax and enjoy the holidays, but that's most people. Then maybe you're not that people. So anyway, if interest rates do come down, we're going to see the market start to kick off, and we could actually see something that looked somewhat like the 2021, 2022, where real estate was just going nuts. I don't see the prices increasing at that same pace, but I do see buyers jumping in and sellers also jumping out of the market trying to get their houses sold, because now that interest rate is going to be somewhat more closer to where they are currently locked in. Now, if you haven't investigated this, you might want to look into it. If you're considering buying, see if there's some interest rate out there you can absorb, you can actually take over. Some loans are written that way. You'll have to make up the difference, of course. If they owe 300 grand on a property and it's worth $1 million and that's the loan, there's some money to make up there in that difference. But you could assume a loan, maybe looking for properties that have maybe a higher loan value closer to where the property is actually valued at. Go at that level and then see if there's some kind of negotiation that can happen with your agent. Find out if you might be able to assume their mortgage and inject maybe a typical down payment in that process. A lot of the banks are entertaining this. It might be something to look into if you're banging your head against the wall and can't get past the interest rate thing. And I understand that. The other thing too is I wouldn't make a future interest rate promise, because there is nothing like that. But a lot of people do kind of venture out and tease you with either teaser rates. If you're looking online, they might say, well, our interest rate is this, and you can have that interest rate, and you get all excited. And then after you go and you do the vetting and give them all your numbers and all that fancy stuff, they say, well, you don't fit in that category. And then all of a sudden your interest rate is much more. So don't fall into the teaser rate thing. Again, if you really want to know where you are, I would reach out to a lender, maybe check with your bank. There's mortgage brokers out there. I did a massive video on this a while back. You can find that at Santa Clarita openhouses.com/blog. That's right. And then also, if you just want to talk about it, you want other questions to ask a lender, you want to know which lender might be better to serve your particular needs, depending on what they are, because not all lenders are created equal. Yes, all of them have access to some source of money. That's why they're a lender. But in some cases, they can only source their own money out of their own institution. Maybe some might not even be able to do FHA and VA loans. Maybe they farm that out. So maybe they might not be a good pick if, in fact, they're going to be referring you to somewhere else, because you probably made that point of contact and like them and don't want to be passed on to somebody else. They basically just get a referral fee and dump you. That's ridiculous. Anyway, don't agree with it. So these are the things to do. Go to zoommescv.com, zoommescv.com, get on my calendar. We'll be able to have a discussion where you are currently in real estate, where you're thinking about going, and we'll just plan the whole thing out. Now, as far as this inventory goes, let me give you the quick rundown for the past 7 days. So in Santa Clarita Valley, 5 listings have been posted as coming soon. That's quite a bit less than usual. Usually we're in double digits with the coming soon announcements. If you haven't seen those as well, again, yeah, Connor built a resource. Go to your agent, right? Say, hey, I want to see the coming soon listings, the pre-marketing listings, and they'll be able to get those emailed to you. You're not going to see them on Zillow. You're not going to see them at Realtor.com. You're not going to see them on any of the syndication sites. They have to be emailed to you. You're not going to see them at Santa Clarita OpenHouses.com, which is really sad because that's a real local site fed directly from the multiple listings service, but I digress. So you have to get those emailed. So if you have an agent, hoorah, hit your agent up, say, listen, send me those, Jack. And if it's Connor that you want to be your agent, me, then SantaClaritaComingSoon.com. SantaClaritaComingSoon.com. Or just call me. There's the number over this place right here. It's really hard to do when you're backwards. Anyway, so yeah, call that number and then I will take care of it and send you the coming soon listings. It's not an overwhelming amount. So you're not going to be bombarded with so much to choose from, at least not in this market. And new listing 77 this past week. 80 properties have had their prices changed. 34 back on contract, 31 active under contract, 51 pending, 56 sold this last week, 12 expired, 27 canceled. That's huge, actually. 11 held, 10 have been withdrawn from the market. Canceled listings. One more buyer tip out there, and I know I did a full video on this too, but if you're looking, your agent should be searching for the canceled stuff, and they should send it to you. So what I do for my buyers, if I dial them in and I find out where they are, then I will take as part of the listings that I send them, not just doing the rotisserie oven thing, setting it and forgetting it. I'm actually sending them active listings and also the canceled stuff and also expired stuff that I might be able to have access to by going in and banging on the door, taking a folder, or even better, taking my clients with me and say, listen, this is John and Judy, or John and John and Jane and Jane, or whatever, and going to the front door and banging on it. I'm a real estate agent. These are my actual buyers. And we actually want to come by because we see your listing's canceled or it expired and it looks like it would fit their criteria. Is there some way we might be able to strike a deal? Maybe have them buy your house and then have that conversation. Who would have thought? That's the old way. But the old ways sometimes really work out great, especially if the people in that house appreciate the old ways. If they don't appreciate that, they're probably not going to even answer the door, especially when I show up. But anyway, that's a aside. That's a different point. All right, so that's where we are currently. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see the daily video like this one, I'm going to post it up at Santa Clarita OpenHouses.com. You can go there any day after, well, now it's 11. So 10, 11 in the morning now. So anyway, by afternoon, you'll have a brand new video there. And also, if you want to see the historical record of all the videos I post, SantaClaritaOpenHouses.com, click on the upper tab there for the blog, and you'll be able to track those back and see those for each and every day. When you're ready, let me know. I'd love to help you. Let's get on a Zoom meeting, ZoomMeSCB.com, and I'll take great care of you. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one. I'm Connor with Honor, over and out.